Hey everyone, Big Bite Pro Mike McClelland coming to you today from actually the Mississippi River. And I mean, there's a lot of different things that as anglers we do day in and day out. But I mean, one thing that I think that we can all go back to and truly say that it was a big part of our early years of fishing is just fishing a plastic worm. And I mean, the plastic worm is a staple. It's been around for years and years. And Big Bite has had the 10-inch B2, and now we have the new 7-inch baby B2. So basically, when I start thinking about how I learned to fish and how I taught my kids to fish, I mean, plastic worms is it. And there's two different ways that I like to rig the baby B2. One thing that I always think that people fail to do and sometimes overdo is hook choices. When you start talking about a worm like a baby B2, I mean, this is a worm that is a fairly small profile worm, slender, and a lot of people, in my opinion, oversize their hook choice when it comes to Texas rigging. I'm going to generally rig this with probably anywhere from an 1/8 to a 3/16 ounce tungsten weight, just to keep the profile even smaller. And one of the big keys to me is using this Gamakatsu G-Finesse hybrid worm hook that I helped him develop. And the reason for that is just the beauty of how that bait rigs. I mean, that hybrid worm hook rigs so good, allows the plastic to rig perfectly straight. And when it comes to equipment, I mean, the baby B2 is something that I'm not going to use an overkill. I mean, very seldomly am I probably ever going to throw this baby B2 on heavier line than probably 16-pound test sunline shooter. Typically, when I'm throwing a bait caster, that could range anywhere from 10 to 16-pound test. A medium to medium heavy action rod, and it's a bait that you can do so many things with. The baby B2 can be fished, around grass. It can be fished around rock, gravel. I mean, it's just a bait. Boat docks, I mean, any type of cover that bass are around, and when the fish are a little bit tougher to get to bite, the baby B2 is kind of one of those finesse type baits that'll help you get more bites. Another thing that another way I like to rig the baby B2 is just on a Ned style head. This to me is probably one of the easiest ways for a youngster to catch fish, whether you're pond fishing or fishing around boat docks. The big deal with fishing a Ned rig with an open hook style is you definitely don't want to be throwing it around any type of cover. So if you're fishing a pond, hopefully it's a pond that is void of a lot of cover. If you're fishing around boat docks, hopefully gravel, little broken up rock, things like that. But the thing about throwing this on a Ned head is the ability to the hookup ratio. I mean, when you're throwing a Ned head, there really isn't a lot that goes into actually setting the hook and doing it all properly. Basically, the fish is going to catch himself. So those are the two ways that I love to rig a baby B2. A Carolina rig is another option when you get in those situations where fish are a little bit just not cooperating. So often I've thrown a finesse worm and a mag finesse worm, but the baby B2 with that U-tail design just is a little added action. So Carolina rig, Ned head, and Texas rig are going to be the way. So be sure and check out the new baby B2 and get after it.